The Central Coast certainly is paradise, and living here is a dream of many. But it also comes at a cost, a very expensive one. In this Price of Paradise segment, I took a closer look at how pandemic-fueled remote work changes can affect people's budgets and what employees need to consider when choosing an ideal work setup. Like millions of other Americans, Michelle Karpovich and her husband were able to work from home during the COVID-19 pandemic. It allowed them to relocate from the Bay Area to the Central Coast and be closer to family.
And this place just was so beautiful, nice, even weather. So it was just a perfect fit.
Karpovich got a different job, working part-time with the city of San Luis Obispo. She's still working from home due to COVID concerns.
A lot of flexibility in terms of schedule, mainly because no commute time. So my day starts a little bit later and ends a little bit earlier. Here, a 10-minute break can be doing a dish that I didn't get to with breakfast.
Plus, she saves money on gas. The pandemic has changed the way companies do business. According to Global Workplace Analytics, 1 in 4 Americans is working remotely. Wendy Patterson of United Staffing Associates has seen an increase in the number of people wanting to work from their home office. She also estimates more than half of job seekers they interview prefer it.
Some people that are from out of the area that are used to working in a remote environment, and they still want that.
Remote work can be a win for employees and employers. Multiple surveys and studies found workers have higher job satisfaction and companies save money on operating costs. But are remote employees taking on some of those expenses? It depends who you ask and where they work. On average, remote workers have seen a $40 to $50 monthly increase in their energy bills, or as much as $600 a year. While some are able to absorb the costs, others may not have the money to spare. Under federal law, businesses are only required to reimburse work-related expenses if those expenses lower an employee's pay to below minimum wage. However, California is one of at least 10 states and Washington, D.C., where employees get reimbursed for certain remote work expenses. There isn't really a set standard on how to handle remote work. Every company is different, and many variables come into play.
Customers, they do ship the equipment, and then there's other customers that are reimbursed for the employees to use their own equipment.
More than half of remote workers spent between $100 and $499 on equipment or furniture. 61% of them paid for it on their own. But there are other costs to consider when working from home: the mental, emotional, and social toll it can take. An American Psychiatric Association survey found majority of employees working from home experienced isolation, loneliness, and difficulty getting away from work.
You do miss out on the in-person collaboration and connection with coworkers.
She prefers a hybrid approach, a combination of working remotely and from an office.
Having a breakup in schedule where you're in office, you can collaborate in person with people, and then remote, just because of the flexibility, there's no commute involved.
For those who prefer the hybrid approach, Workplace Analytics estimates up to 30% of the U.S. workforce will be working from home 1 or more days a week after the pandemic.